or more replay rules. I don't think you need more. I don't think you need more things interrupting the game. I certainly am not advocating that. What I'm simply saying is that, you know what? You can ignore replays in the first half. You can save reviewable calls and replays for the second half. Or you could have that nuclear button and save it for the most important parts of a game. And you can use that discretion to some degree. I think you can do a variety of things, but I think ultimately you need to eradicate replays being used. A matter of fact, the biggest thing I would let me take that back. The biggest thing I would support is eradicating all replays and reviewable calls until the last 5 minutes of a game and then overtime. That's what I would do. That's exactly what I would do. Do it when it matters most. And as Jones said, Stephen Jones, executive VP for the Cowboys, we certainly don't want to officiate from replay. I don't think at the end of the day that's good for the game. I agree with him. You don't want to officiate from the replay standpoint, but what you do want to do is make sure that it's not overutilized where it interrupts the flow of the game, but it's used at the most pivotal times to make sure that the outcome of the game is secured in terms of it being the right calls. I do think that's something that's worthy of getting into, make no mistake about it. And I think that's something that simply cannot be ignored. 888-SAY-ESPN, it's 888-729-3776. By the way, congratulations, Larry Fitzgerald has decided to do a one-year deal with the Arizona Cardinals. They announced future Hall of Fame receiver in his 16th NFL season. According to team president Michael Bidwell, he said in a statement, "No player has meant more to this franchise or this community than Larry Fitzgerald. In my discussions with him, it was clear that he is as driven and passionate as ever. We are thrilled he'll be back in 2019. That's what they said. Larry Fitzgerald tweets, "Thank you to Mr. Bidwell for your honesty, support, and friendship, and for lowering the hurdles for your guy. LOL, laugh out loud." So with a second-year quarterback in Josh Rosen, a first-year coach in Cliff Kingsbury, Larry Fitzgerald decides to come back for one more year. If anybody deserves the right to make that decision, it's him. Get that money. I ain't mad at him. I ain't mad at him at all. I'm mad at who he's going to be playing with, though, or who he's going to be playing for. But I'm certainly not mad at him for coming back. Saints cornerback, another person in the news, P.J. Williams, arrested on DWI charge, driving while impaired, while intoxicated, plus additional charges early Wednesday morning. New Orleans police confirmed. According to a report from the New Orleans Police Department, Williams was arrested and booked into the New Orleans Parish Justice Center for driving while intoxicated, speeding 80 miles per hour in a 50-mile-per-hour zone, improper lane usage, and failure to use a turn signal. He was released on bond later Wednesday. He's in a contract year, ladies and gentlemen. It's not the end of the world so long as he didn't hurt anybody, even though he could have. If he was behind the wheel, DUI status, no doubt, can't be condoned. But I will tell you this also. He's in a contract year. Third-round pick, 2015. This past season, appeared in 15 games with 7 starts. But he's set to be a free agent in March when the new league year begins. How in God's name do you think that helps you? How do you think that helps you? It's just not smart. It's just not smart. Find yourself in any position that's going to compromise your money. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? 888-SAY-ESPN. It's 888-729-3776. Let's get back to the phones. Let's go to Barbara. You're live with Stephen A. Hello, Barbara. How are you?
Yeah, I was just wondering if it had been the Chiefs that had won the coin toss, instead of the Patriots, and they went down the field and got a touchdown, would they be as much against the coin toss as there is with the Patriots are doing it?
No, I don't think anybody's against the coin toss. I think what the problem is that people have a problem with the rule limiting one team from not even being able to get a crack at scoring a touchdown. The reality is that in the National Football League, if you win the coin toss and you get the ball and you march downfield and you score a touchdown, game's over. The other team doesn't even get a chance to score. Now, if you get a field goal, that's different. And if you obviously don't score, then that's different because the game is still tied and then somebody else gets a chance to score. But my issue is that you know what? It's overtime. You have possession of the ball. You score a touchdown, and the game is over without the other offense never even getting the chance to see the field. That's my issue.
Well, I understand that, too, and I understand that the defense should be defending and trying to get that ball back.
Sure,
keep them from
sure they
going
tried.
into the
Sure they tried, Barbara. They just weren't good enough. Chiefs defense has stunk all year long. They ranked 27th against the run. They was 31st, second to last against the pass, second to last, 31st overall in yardage allowed. And we all knew they weren't going to stop Tom Brady. So, I mean, that was a foregone conclusion. The problem is that Patrick Mahomes, the league MVP to be, didn't even get an opportunity to touch the football. And that's the problem most of us have with it.
Yeah, but I thought maybe some of the people just, because I watch. Now, the Cowboys are my team, and I know how you feel about the Cowboys, but I watch football. I love football because I'm a shut-in and I can't get out, and football is my game. I love it. Mm-hmm. And I just had that in my mind. If there would be all this uproar, if it had been the Chiefs that went down and got it instead of the Patriots. That's all I had.
Okay.
I just wondered.
I understand. Barbara, I deeply appreciate the call. Thank you so much for taking time out of your business schedule. Really appreciate it. Mike in Denver, talk to me, bro.
Hey, how you doing, man? I want to talk about the Hall of Fame yesterday.
Yeah, I'm listening.
I was glad that Rivera got in, man, unanimously. It's about time somebody made it. A couple other players could have did it, but, that's neither here nor there. He was stand-up guy, like Michael Kay said. I really appreciate listening to him on this show. He enlightened me on a lot of things. And it's sad that Barry ain't got in yet, but, he got 3 more years. So do you think Rivera should have got unanimously in?
Who? Mariano Rivera?
Mario, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. There ain't a soul alive that should have voted against him going in. Without question, he was worthy of receiving one question.
That's what I was expecting. One other quick thing, if you don't mind. I was thinking the same thing you thinking about the Lakers might try to make a move on Mike Conley. What you think?
Listen, I think they should. I think they need an experienced guard. Somebody that could do the things that Rondo can do, plus be a better offensive player. I got no problem with that. And I think that's Mike Conley.
Now, if they was to sign him, now would that affect their cap space?
No, because
they got a big contract.
No, it'll be minimal because the contracts have to relatively match in order for you to make a swap, make a trade.
Okay. All right, then. Well, that's what I wanted to talk to you about, man. Have a good day, and I'll be calling back in.
You do the same, man. Thank you so much. Let's go to Tom. You're live with Stephen A. What's up, Tommy?
How are you?
Talk to me.
I just want to weigh in on a few things. First of all, no doubt Rivera deserved to be 100%. I just don't like the fact that he's the first in baseball because he's really playing a position that didn't even exist till the 1960s. So with that said,
well, you got to play under the rules that have been confined to you. And then when you think about what he did in the role that he played, it's just undeniable, sir. He's one of the greatest players in Major League Baseball history. For at his position, 652 career saves, most all time, a .70 ERA, 42 saves in the postseason, a 100% WHIP, which is the lowest among retired pitchers in the live baseball era, 5-time world champion, 13-time All-Star, won the World Series MVP in '99 and 2003 ALCS MVP. Come on now.
Oh, no, he deserved it. He deserved 100%. I'm just asking, do you think he should have been the first with Bob Gibson, Willie Mays, Mickey Mantle, Joe DiMaggio?
It's hard to say. It's hard to say because they're not just taking into account what you did on the field. They're taking into account how you've represented the game off the field. These voters take this very, very seriously, and your behavior matters. So it's not just about on-field exploits. It's about more than that. And it's undeniable that Mariano Rivera had a better relationship with the media than most.
Okay, and then the next thing is Clemens. I agree. I watched your point on First Take that he was stupid. I won't argue the point, but you can't really put him down and then boost Rose up.
Well, again, for me, Rose is about compassion. It's been over 30 years, sir. It's been over 30 years.
But
we got murderers and everybody else that's more forgiving that's been forgiven more than this guy. And all I'm saying is that as a player, Charlie Hustle performed on the field of play on a Hall of Fame level. My attitude is put him in a hall and put an asterisk next to his name and identify the transgressions that he did. But don't try to deny what he was and what he meant to us all as a player, because you can't do that.
But do you think moving to 7 miles away from Mandalay Bay while he's appealing his case was a brilliant thing? That's what I mean.
No, I'm not. I don't think it was brilliant.
He didn't deserve it.
I don't think it was brilliant, but I do think that when you've never worked a 9 to 5 and the only requisite skill that you've had available to you is playing the sport of baseball, which you love dearly, then chances are you're going to try to use something that's associated with to maximize your marketing potential. You're going to try to get money, off the game as best as you possibly can. Pete Rose, as bad as it is for him to be associated with that stuff in any kind of way whatsoever, it is clearly how he's going about the business of making his money.
Yep. Now, finally, Barry Bonds.
Yep.
I think. This. I have a problem with the whole '80s to 2000 era of baseball for many reasons. First of all, that era came up with magnesium, aluminum, and titanium bats from Little League to college. And that puts about 40 feet on your swing. Now they get to the pros, and they're stroking with a wooden bat, and the owners are looking at them going, Jesus, why ain't you putting it 20 rows back? It annoys me that the owners have gotten away scot-free because they had to know what was going on.
Yep, and they turned a blind eye, and a deaf ear to it because they were making money. And you also have to understand that in the end, that's what the owners care about, making money.
Well, exactly, but the law wasn't enforced until 2003 where they did mandatory testing.
Yep.
So you don't think it was an owner might have said, look, we got to get 40 feet back on your swing. That's all I'm saying. Go see the trainer. He'll help you out. I know that's hypothetical. But, now here's the other thing. Golf, tennis, and hockey, especially hockey, they're all using striking instruments that are far better than anyone else, and they don't have to change when they get to the pros. From curved sticks to titanium hockey and on with tennis and golf. Imagine if you said to Tiger Woods, you got to use wooden shafts.
I understand. I got your point. But it is what it is. It really is. I mean, listen, we could come up with reasons to question, their judgment or whatever, but it's about consistency right here, and their consistent position is that it's not just about what you do on the field of play, but what you do morally and ethically off the field. And as it pertains to owners, there's but so much policing you can do, unless you're talking about a late George Steinbrenner with the whole Howie Spira situation, where it was clear and flagrant what he was doing at that particular moment in time. There's little to nothing that you can do to a particular owner, and that's really what it comes down to. I got to run, though, Tom. Thank you so much for the call. I deeply appreciate it. Carlton, I've been waiting for you, buddy. How are you?
You've been hiding on me,
No,
Stephen.
you've been hiding. No, you've been hiding. Excuse me, Carlton. I called you out on Monday morning. I've been looking for you for 2 days. I led the show Monday. Where's Carlton at? Where's Carlton?
I've been calling. You won't pick up the phone, Stephen.
Come on.
I wanted to inject some reality into all the
I'm listening.
nonsense.
Hold on. Let me lay it out for everybody. Carlton, who used to be Carlton in Massachusetts, who's now Carlton in Tampa, is the biggest Belichick hater you can find. He'll sit up there and find any excuse to poo-poo any kind of success that Bill Belichick has had. But now that the Patriots are in their 9th Super Bowl in this man's era, clearly having overachieved yet again, I was looking for Carlton Monday. It is Wednesday. We have finally found him. The floor is yours, Carlton. Explain yourself.
First off, the reason that there is a Rule 17 in the NFL rule book is for when they find Bill Belichick with the Rams playbook on the sidelines in the Super Bowl in a couple of weeks. And I'm dead serious about that, Stephen A. Not that particular event, but it's for those kind of integrity issues. If they found out a team was actively cheating, Roger Goodell might actually reverse and call a redo over on a game. That's why that rule is in there, for those kind of integrity issues. But now let's get to the complete nonsense about stellar Brady performance against the Chiefs and how he is just beyond reproach and how one little minute thing can change how everybody in the country views multiple things. Stephen A., with 1 minute and 1 second to go in the game, Tom Brady threw his third interception of the game.
Oh, come on. Gronkowski should have caught that pass. Come on, Carlton.
Way high, Steven.
Oh, come on, Carlton.
He can't jump 2 inches now after all his back
he had
surgery.
both hands on it, Carlton. And because Gronkowski didn't catch the ball and it went off his fingers and it was intercepted, but D Ford was offsides, Tom Brady got saved. That's what you're about to tell us.
That's what Tom Brady's passer rating was at that point in time, Stephen A., with 1 minute to go in the game?
So what?
63.2, Stephen A. Worse than every single quarterback in the NFL this year who had enough pass attempts to qualify for a full season passer rating. That was Brady's passer rating with 1 minute to go in the game. 63.2.
What did he do? How about giving me his percentage when he was when it was third down situations in the fourth quarter and in overtime? How about giving me that? What about that?
Including all those positives, he had the worst passer rating for that weekend, Stephen A. Worst of the 4 quarterbacks that played that weekend, Stephen A. Even with all those great throws that you're talking about in those third quarter completions. But D Ford lining up off sides in the neutral zone, which, by the way, was only the second time he did it all year. That was only the second time that ever happened. He got all this nonsense about the great performance of Brady. He got Sutton fired, okay? Sutton's not fired if they're going to the kids.
Hold on. He got Sutton fired? Did Sutton not deserve to be fired before that game? As defensive coordinator for the Kansas City Chiefs, who were 27th against the run, 31st against the pass, 31st in yards allowed, he should have been gone. He shouldn't have been back this year.
His first 3 years with the Chiefs, he had a top defense in the league. I mean, like top 5. So he did not have a good year. I don't disagree with that. People do also underestimate, though, with that quick scoring offense, the Chiefs defense is on the field more series. In other words, the opposition gets more cracks at the ball than other teams do. So you kind of got to factor in the fact that they score so quickly that the other team has more possession, so therefore they're going to have more yards. But they were poor even on yards per attempt and passing yards per attempt. So he did not have a good year. But in the totality of his career with the Chiefs, he's been okay. He certainly wouldn't have been fired if D Ford didn't line up in the neutral zone, because it would be the Chiefs that are going to the Super Bowl. And the one last thing I want to talk about Tom Brady. He's a great quarterback. You've never heard me here. He is not one of the, if not the all-time greatest quarterback, counting his inspiration to the rest of the team, how hard he works, all of that stuff. He is also the luckiest NFL player to ever live. He has benefited from now 4 of the all-time worst in NFL playoff history. The worst ref call in NFL playoff history, the tuck rule, which got him his first Super Bowl, when he won
against the Oakland Raiders.
The worst NFL head coaching call in the playoffs.
Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll did not give in the ball to Marshawn Lynch.
With 55 seconds to go, not handing off to Marshawn Lynch. 3 times he could have handed off to Marshawn Lynch with 55 seconds and they had a timeout. The worst collapse ever by a team in the history of the Super Bowl. The Atlanta Falcons up 28-3, including things like Devontae Freeman completely whiffing on a high-tower blitz and sacking Matt Ryan, who fumbled, who gave the Patriots a key score late in the game, including the ball going right through Alfred's hands. A Brady throw, by the way, that would have been his second pick to Alfred that game. And Julian Edelman comes up with a phenomenal catch. So that was the worst call. And this time, the worst defensive mental mistake ever in the NFL playoffs when D Ford lines up offside with 1 minute to go.
You know what, Carlton? I got to run, but all of that may be true. But I recall Tom Brady having 500 yards passes in the Super Bowl that they lost. I recall I recall Tom Brady converting on a third down, a 3rd and 10 to Edelman, a 3rd and 10 to Edelman, a 3rd and 10 to Rob Gronkowski, and that was in overtime. Not to mention the regular season. I recall Tom Brady picking apart the Chargers a week earlier. I recall Tom Brady winning more and more games after games after games. Luck's a part of it, no doubt about it, but nothing takes away from his greatness. I got to go, Carlton. I appreciate the call. I got your perspective. Feel free. You and I will be volleying back and forth all week long as we get set to watch Bill Belichick attempt to win his 6th Super Bowl title. I'm quite sure you'll find something to complain about it then as well. But it won't work with me, Carlton. It will not work. 888-SAY-ESPN. It's 888-729-3776. You're listening live to Stephen A. ESPN Radio, ESPN News. For upcoming holidays like Valentine's, 1-800-Flowers has the best bouquets and deals around, like a dozen assorted roses for $19.99, or upgrade to 2 dozen assorted roses for $10 more.